At my brother's wedding, my parents demanded I hand over my penthouse. Keysright in front of 200 guests. When I said no, Mom slapped me so hard my glasses flew off. I walked out, made a call. In an hour, a man showed up at the reception, and when Mom saw who it was, she started screaming. I always knew my brother Kevin was the golden child. I just didn't realize my parents were willing to sacrifice me at his altar in front of 200 people. It happened during his wedding reception. The champagne was flowing, the string quartet was playing, and my mother tapped her glass with a silver spoon. She took a microphone and gave a tear-jerking speech about Kevin and his new bride. Then she turned her eyes on me. "And we have a very special surprise," she announced, her voice echoing through the lavish ballroom. "Kevin's brother has generously decided to gift the newlyweds his downtown penthouse to start their new life." The room erupted in applause. 200 people turned to look at me, smiling, raising their glasses, and clapping. There was just one problem. I had never agreed to this. I bought that penthouse with my own money. I worked 80-hour weeks building my tech firm from the ground up, while Kevin blew his college tuition on sports cars and partying. My parents knew I would never give it to him, so they tried to trap me publicly. I stood up. The room went dead silent. "I'm not giving Kevin my home," I said clearly. The microphone on the stage picked up my voice. That was never discussed. The applause died instantly. The silence was deafening. My mother marched off the stage, her heels clicking aggressively against the marble floor. She stopped right in front of me, her face red with fury. "Give him the keys right now!" she hissed, extending her hand. "Don't you dare embarrass us in front of these people. You have enough money. Your brother needs a proper home." "No," I said quietly. Smack! She slapped me so hard the sound echoed off the high ceilings. My glasses flew off my face, skittering across the polished floor. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Kevin smirked from the head table. My father just looked away, refusing to make eye contact. My cheek burned. I didn't yell. I didn't curse. I didn't react at all. I calmly bent down, picked up my glasses, and put them back on. The frame was slightly bent. I looked my mother dead in the eyes. "Enjoy the wedding," I said. I turned my back and walked out of the ballroom. I didn't rush. I took my time, letting the heavy, uncomfortable silence hang over the guests as I made my exit. The valet brought my car. I sat in the driver's seat and pulled out my phone. My hands were shaking, not from fear, but from a cold, absolute rage. I made one call. It went straight to my lead attorney, Arthur. "Arthur," I said. "Pull the plug. All of it." "Are you sure?" Arthur asked. "It's going to ruin them tonight." "I want you there in an hour," I replied and hung up. Here's the secret my parents didn't want anyone to know. They were completely broke. Their lavish lifestyle, this $100,000 wedding, the country club memberships, it was all funded by a massive line of credit from a private holding company. A holding company that I owned. For 3 years, they had been defaulting on their loans. For 3 years, Arthur, acting as the company's ruthless anonymous representative, had been hounding them. My mother was terrified of Arthur. She had begged him on the phone for extensions, crying that they would lose their social standing if they lost their house. I had secretly ordered Arthur to keep granting them grace periods, because despite everything, they were family. But that grace period ended the second her hand struck my face. I drove to a cafe down the street from the venue. I ordered a black coffee and waited. 55 minutes later, my phone buzzed. It was a text from a friend who was still at the reception. It was a video. I hit play. In the video, the party was desperately trying to recover its mood. Then, the grand double doors of the ballroom swung open. Arthur walked in. He was flanked by 2 off-duty police officers holding clipboards. The music scratched to a halt. My mother turned around. When she saw Arthur's face, the color completely drained from hers. "No," she gasped. Arthur didn't smile. He walked straight up to my parents and handed them a thick manila folder. "Good evening," Arthur said, his voice carrying through the quiet room. "I am here on behalf of Vanguard Holdings. As of 8:04 p.m. tonight, your grace period has been terminated." My mother started trembling. "This is a notice of immediate foreclosure on your estate," Arthur continued loudly. "Furthermore, the credit lines funding this event have been frozen. The venue management has been notified that your final payment will not clear." My mother dropped her champagne glass. It shattered on the marble. Then the screaming started. She wailed, grabbing her hair, dropping to her knees in her designer dress. My father turned ghost white. Kevin rushed over, yelling at Arthur, demanding to know what was going on. "Who owns Vanguard Holdings?" my father shouted, his voice cracking with panic. Arthur adjusted his tie. He looked directly at the camera phone recording him. "The owner of the penthouse," Arthur said coldly. "He sends his regards." I finished my coffee, deleted the video, and blocked all their numbers. Then I went home.